winners, and as said in the studio, got a lovely pedigree. She's not the biggest, just physically, from a paddock inspection. You can see the flecks of grey coming in through her, which was in her family as well. But noteworthy that the money's come for her. Ophelia Grace looked well. I did ask David Egan about the ground. He wasn't sure, essentially, about how she'd handle it. He said to me afterwards, there's not a huge amount of soft in this ground. Wherever they can find it, there is not a huge amount of soft. It's bordering on heavy everywhere. So it is testing, and these 2-year-olds have to show a pretty good attitude and professionalism to get through it, which his horse did in the opener. You just see just back there, number 3, Fast Generation, was just responding a bit to the blindfold coming on. She's having her first run since May, where she was 3rd to the 96 rated Spinning Lizzie. Another one where the ground's unknown, this daughter of Maymas. Lady Youmzain, she's quite a lengthy individual, and her sire, we know Hello Youmzain, acted well to soft ground, so that could be a benefit to her. She was just a nice type, very different to T Queen, also for the owner, Jabba Abdullah. And there's a little bit of money for her, but not a huge amount, but I didn't mind her in the paddock. But of course, from a powerful yard, and obviously got to consider them. Of the others, well, Peggy Boo has got a lot to work on, as does Tanaka. So it's really, you'd imagine, just the 4 at the top here that are going to take the most interest. And unfortunately, number 3 is really getting worked up now, Fast Generation. She's looked like she's just making life really hard for Cam Hardy. And even though they had the blindfold on, it looks like they might have taken it off her. And I wonder if they might try and get her in. I thought they might just try and get her in without Cam Hardy, but it seems they're going to try again with her, with him on. But she seems to try and want to bolt around the back there. They're going to try and get some of the others in. You can see Lady Youmzain will go into stall number 8. Now, the action came around the far side of the track in our last race. Horses were sort of spread out across the track, but it was down that far side where you wanted to be, really. There is still a few more coming forward, but Peggy Boo, from what I can see, the daughter of Starman, still didn't have her jockey. I think they're just going to wait until this Fast Generation. It's looking like it's going to get a little bit desperate now for Fast Generation, whether she's going to be part of it. She's getting awfully worked up, and that is setting off number 7, Peggy Boo, as well, who does have David Nolan getting on. So not the most straightforward of starts to this second race, this Novice Fillies event. Plenty of the others are waiting very patiently in the stalls, which is never ideal, especially for the newcomers who, and I can think one of them has got to try and keep her calm. That's Lady Youmzain. Pegson, who'll see more from his vantage point ahead of race number 2.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. Looks like
that's a lovely debut performance from Lady Youmzain in the hands of Tom Eves for Kevin Ryan. His daughter of Hello Youmzain has won by a fair few lengths. To second was Ophelia Grace. The Ophelia Grace wasn't given a hard time by David Egan. And in third, it was a nice run from Peggy Boo. And as you can see from the head on, coming into the race, Tom Eves was still got a double handful at this stage and hadn't asked the horse to really go away, and when he did, she really responded nicely. Back in behind, the favourite, who was the second of the Jabba Abdullah Silks and the red cap, was T Queen. She travelled into it well, but then looked like she got tired. She's not a big filly, and she might not have been handling the ground like a few of them didn't. But this is a bigger type, Lady Youmzain, who is from a nice staying family. I thought whatever she does today, she's a